John Davis, absolutely one of the best.
John Davis, true crime.
John Davis, true crime.
John Davis doing what true crimers do.
John Davis, true crime.
John Davis.
John Davis, true crime.
Mr. John Davis.
John Davis, true crime.
John Davis, true crime.
This guy, John Davis.
John Davis, true crime.
John Davis, true crime. Maybe that's where I've heard that name before.
John Davis, true crime.
John Davis, and it's good to see you, John. How are you?
John Davis, true crime.
John Davis, true.
Hey, John Davis.
John Davis.
John Davis, true crime.
John Davis, true crime kicks butt.
Tune in and watch John Davis, true crime. You will love it. It's one of the best channels on YouTube. Tune in. It's John Davis, true crime.
Thank God somebody told me. Can you hear me now? I don't know why I was muted. Am I unmuted? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me now? Can we start over? Yes, we can hear you. Anyway, I was saying I thought that Ziggy was the funniest in the intro. Jesse was saying, who I can't decide who's the funniest in the intro, and I was saying I think it's Ziggy, because I was in Ziggy's live and I was like, Ziggy, how about shooting me some clip intro footage? And that's what Ziggy did, hook me up. But y'all may not know who all this Ziggy is, right? Ziggy Hill, the artist formerly known as Ziggy, is who I was speaking of. Ziggy changed her name to Ziggy Hill. Did not see that coming, because honestly, I'm assuming her name's not really Ziggy. But yet, she wants to add her, what is it, your married name, I guess is what you refer to it as. So weird. To me, you know what this smells like? The patriarchy. Got to have their name in something else. You know it? Ziggy was a good representative for the women's movement. And now the patriarchy done stepped in and confused the name channel. Got to have a man's name in it. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. The man. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Jesse. The man. I don't know. I was shocked to see that. I worry about Ziggy getting taken advantage of. You know, they had me reminiscing on my, I did a trivia tournament of champions. I tried to. Had tons of YouTubers lined up to play and all that. And Ziggy showed up every time. Until Nana's Angels kicked that ass. God, my camera looks blurry too. I think my computer's running like shit today. I want to blame the computer for the reason that I was muted. former feminist Ziggy's channel. Former. Nana kicked butt. Yeah. Nana wiped the floor with Ziggy. It was amazing. And gloated afterwards, too. Quite a bit of the gloating. What was that score again, John? What was it? Is that a record? Was that the most that's ever been scored on John Davis True Crime Trivia? It might have been. I tell you what, though, what I learned out of it was, because I had a lot of people in it. You know, I had Cam, Harsh, Ziggy, Tiffers, God, who else was there? Common Sense True Crime, Nana's Angels, Killer Looks. Had a lot of them in it. And how that turned out is pretty much really representative of how the community is. It really is. Because it ended up, Tiffers never showed up. She said she had to cancel on me. Couldn't make it, but showed up to bitch about me replacing her. So that was typical, right? Well, Cam just didn't make it. No call, no show. So Cam was on a bender. That's pretty relatable to how it is, right? Killer Looks, though, one smart cookie. He would have won it if we would have finished. We didn't even finish because I couldn't get nobody to. You couldn't get two people with egos to be there at the same time. It was impossible. Then if one would cancel, usually the other one would because of ego, I guess. You know, even though everybody agreed to do it. And I give the schedules out way in advance. He showed up and showed out, says Messy Jesse. Yeah, shout out to Killer Looks from that. I'm sorry, Killer. I owe you a trophy because the only person that might have had a chance at you was I don't know. I think you'd have won hands down, to be honest. It was amazing. Killer Looks, and like I was making up the questions myself, so I would make them extremely hard. I didn't make a lot of shit that most people would know. Everything it was not easy, and he knew like the round he played. I don't think he missed a question. And it was all like way different stuff that I was talking about too, like BTK, OJ Simpson. I mean, just wild stuff. And he did. Yeah, Reporter Room did great. Yeah, Jessica did good. That's who Beater was Killer, right? I don't think Jessica missed many either. You're right. See, we had like bonuses and stuff. I don't know how that worked out, if that played a factor into theirs. It was fun. I might do it again. I think the thing to do would just be to do it like I had been and just pull two people up and let them go at it. That way I don't have to worry about people not showing up. Because that's what sucks, because it would put me in a bad spot. People not show up, and then I'm getting ready to go on saying that I'm going to have harsh reality and cracking cases live for this, and once somebody doesn't show it puts you in a bad spot, and I just got tired of that. Good morning, Misty Ray, Burnt Dirt, Running Bear, Messy Jesse. It was fun. I hope you do a second season. I might try something. I'm going to try something though to where it's easy. It's I don't know. I was thinking I could record those actually. Maybe the way to go, record them. That way I know people are there. I don't know. It's fine. I hope you do a second season. Second season of the egos I can't handle. Yeah, we got a lot of wild stuff. Yeah, he's down here. He was over there. Brandy's not going to be on the show, but she's going to be a Zeke handler around the show, apparently. She was over there. She may have went there. I ain't sure. Seen this today. before we get to all the weirdness, I'm gonna show you a couple things I seen. I seen this and I just thought to myself, this is misinformation. What it leads to. Benny Keys in jail, Texas. I don't know why. But prayers he talks about Summer Wells, Don Wells, and Kenneth Wells. He just might for a deal. I pray to God. Everybody in the comments seen that as I can't remember what I actually commented, but that goes to show you what rumor mills and making shit up kind of effects it has. There's actually people out there that think Benny knows something or people believe that. It's wild, ain't it? Honestly believe that. Is Benny back in jail? I don't even know if that's true, but I'm pretty confident that Benny don't know nothing about nothing. He could probably tell you a couple stories about him, you know, but as far as what happened, Benny don't know. He don't know. It's wild though. That's some people honestly believe that though. They honestly think that Benny Keys has the answer. I really wish that was the truth. I wish I thought that he knew something. But Benny, and you know, a lot of people, for some reason, I don't know who started it, but want to act like Benny knew Don and Candace before Summer went missing. And that's just not the truth. You know, and he don't bother me because I've learned you can block channels to where you don't see nothing from them. I've started doing that. If I think if you have shit in your feed all the time that you know is just going to annoy you and you don't take it out, you're doing yourself a disservice. He helped cover, not find. Yeah. If anything. You want me to tell everybody to hold up while I find Zeke for you? But that's not where we're going this morning. I have some awesome news, especially for the people that watch and will know what I'm talking about. This happened yesterday. Michelle Hatfield, this is Whitney's mom. Okay, Whitney Hatfield, I've talked about her quite a bit. She's missing. It's I think the police are treating it as a runaway because she left a note, said she was leaving. But if you read the note she left, it seems it's pretty obvious that she was probably groomed and lied to. Let's just say that she's missing. Well, they ain't been able to get any help, no news, no nothing. This yesterday, her mom posts, well, finally some coverage on this. Nancy Grace is going to cover Whitney and her story. I am pretty sure it will air tomorrow evening, but I will confirm and update everyone tomorrow. A friendly reminder that Whitney is still missing. If you have any information, please contact the Ross County Sheriff's Department, 740-773-1185. Detective Pierce is the lead on the case. Thanks. So, the big news is that's going to be on Nancy Grace. Tell me that isn't a miracle. This went from not even being on the local news. As far as I know, it still hasn't been on the news of any sort. And somehow Now they're going to be on Nancy Grace. That is awesome. I am so happy because I talk to the grandma and the aunts a lot, and I am so happy for them because that it has got to. I really feel like that picture gets out there on Nancy Grace. Somebody is going to have seen her. I really feel like wherever she's at, you know, she probably doesn't even have to hide that much. If that's the situation, I don't know what the situation is, though. I'm just worried if they do this Nancy Grace thing and she's not seen, then it's time to really start worrying. But this is a great thing for the family to get this coverage after how things have been going. See, and there's Jean Jackson. They're from Ohio. That's where this happened. I haven't heard anything about her on any of the news channels here in Ohio. Yes, or the person she's with or was with sees it. See, and that's another, you know, positive thing you can think. You can think if maybe what she was told is true. You know, the person, this doctor she's watching the kids for, will see it and be like, oh my God, she's run away, and they'll contact grandma and let her know she's okay. That's the big thing. She needs to contact grandma and let her know she's okay. Grandma's worried to death about her. And hopefully this Nancy Grace thing is going to happen. If I find out exactly when it's going to air, I will make sure and tell y'all. We might even stream it now. I don't want to get in trouble for streaming Nancy. Nancy looks like she'd strike you. But if I find out when it's going to happen, I'm going to tell y'all so y'all can see. Let y'all watch it. It's such great news for the family. Though. I was just astonished. When they told me, I was like, wow. That is awesome. I don't understand how these apps can't be forced to give the information they have on a minor. Yeah, I hope that kind of gets. I hope they kind of mention that to Nancy too. How hard it is for them to get into apps and social media accounts and stuff like that when somebody's missing. I found that just extremely discouraging finding that out. I really did. But that's great news, I think. You can stream anything of Nancy Grace because she don't care if you stream it. She's awesome. Really? Have to do me a Nancy Grace remix video. Check into that. Where are we going? What was I going to? Oh, yeah. Weird Wednesday. And this has been out for like almost a week. I'm hoping everybody ain't seen this because this is the wildest for Weird Wednesday you're going to see. Yes, well, I don't know. I mean, it's not shocking this happened, but anyway, we'll get to it. This lady right here. And that's not a very good picture. I got more pictures we're going to show, but this lady here. You may recognize her. Anybody? I know you probably can't because of the quality of the picture. But anyway, let me tell you what she's been up to. Are you thirsty? This is the moment woman pretended to give water to her uncle's corpse before trying to take out a loan at a Brazilian bank. You see, what had happened was this woman, right? This woman I was telling you about, her uncle was about to pass like a couple weeks ago. He'd been in the hospital and all this, right? There's a picture of her in the bank with him. You got to hear this. Bizarre surveillance footage has revealed the moment a woman gave her uncle's corpse a cup of water before attempting to take out a loan under his name at a bank in Brazil. The video, which was aired by Brazilian news magazine Fantástico on Sunday, showed Erica de Souza, 42, pushing Paulo Braga, 68, in a wheelchair moments before paramedics declared him dead Tuesday. So when the paramedics got there, he's in the wheelchair. They declared him dead. A new security camera recorded De Souza standing next to Braga before she walked away to use the restroom. A bank employee could then be seen leaving her seat and walking over to support Braga's head after it tilted backwards. De Souza, mother of 6, returned 6 minutes later with a cup of water, but Braga remained motionless. Ain't moving. There's pictures. Here's it's one of the pictures. There he is with his head back where she's not holding it. And this is just wild. She then told the teller he doesn't say anything, just how he is, and turned to her uncle and said, "If you're not okay, I'm going to take you to the hospital." The bankers were perturbed with her behavior and called the police, who arrested her on the scene. Surveillance cameras also recorded De Souza wheeling her uncle to an office at the bank and paramedics arriving before they gave him CPR. An autopsy showed that Braga's death was caused by bronchoaspiration and heart failure. Souza remains under arrest as part of the investigation, is being charged with attempted theft by fraud and vilification of a corpse. Authorities have been looking into whether De Souza was trying to take advantage of Braga, who was hospitalized with pneumonia on April 8th and discharged on the 15th. This is wild stuff, y'all. They are investigating if De Souza knew that she was taking her uncle's dead body to the bank. She went with her uncle to the bank because she realized that he was in the last moment of his life and tried, before he died, to withdraw this money. However, before reaching the bank, he died. Still, she saw the possibility of withdrawing this money because it was the last chance she had to withdraw this money. It turns out they think he had been dead for like 2 hours when the paramedics, because I looked more into that, about 2 hours he had been dead is what they're thinking when she was at the bank. Can you believe somebody would try that? And look at these creepy pictures. They blur his face out. There she is, holding his head up. I guess that's when she's trying to get him a drink of water. Got her straw. It looks like a straw between her fingers, doesn't it? He's been deceased for 2 hours. She won't need money in jail. If he was dead and couldn't walk, how the hell did she get him inside? He was in a wheelchair. You might not show it in my pictures. He's in a wheelchair. I thought I had another picture. Because there was a picture of him outside in the parking, somewhere in the parking area. Oh, shit, I don't have it. And in it, you can see him in the wheelchair, but he's looking all like laid out in the wheelchair. She must have really like tied him up and got him together. I'm thinking that if he had been dead for 2 hours, I don't know if rigor mortis had set in yet. That's probably why the head was falling back and stuff. It's the craziest thing that she would try that, man. You even see her on one point, there's a picture of her trying to hold his hand in the pen to sign stuff. It's a real life Weekend at Bernie's. What should the crime? This was in Brazil. What do y'all think the crime for something like that should be? Thoughts? It's crazy, ain't it? I mean, who would do that? For one thing, you know, it's awful. They see, I'm thinking though, you never know. I'm thinking she was going to try to get him to the bank alive, and he just died on her. Is what happened, you know. And she's like, "Well, I'm still going to try. Still need that money." You know. What's wild though is apparently she wasn't in the will. You wouldn't think, or she wouldn't have been doing all that. You know. So that makes you wonder why she even had him in the first place. Right? Unless she just needed money fast and bad, but you know, it's wild. Attempted fraud, messing with a corpse. Yeah, that's basically what the charges I think they said they had were. Something vilifying a corpse or something wild like that. I'm noisy. I'd be in your business like, hey, he ain't okay, and check pulse. You know, you would think a lot of people would have noticed him being dead. Really, you wouldn't think it would have got as far as it did. You know. And I mean, it shows video. She's working it, man. She's talking to him and everything. She said, there you go. She said, he doesn't talk much. Don't speak a lot. He ain't much on breathing either. You know what? He don't speak. He don't breathe. But we're here to get a loan. All right? Need some money. Well, no, want a loan. Here to make a withdrawal. Grandpa Mike here. We want to get in his account. Yeah, he don't talk. He said he ain't have nothing to say to you damn bankers. He's old. Never mind him. He's old. I don't want to make a big fuss. If we wake him up, he's going to go on a rant. So let's just give me about how much is in Uncle Mike's account again? 26,000. He said he wanted to withdraw 26,000. I guess he planned on shutting it down. Let's not wake him up. I think that's how I'd have played it. If I was actually going to do it, right, I'd have wrapped him up in a blanket and threw some sunglasses on him and took him in. Like, this is Uncle Mike. Mean as hell when he's awake. We can wake him up if you want to, or we can just let him sign. Now, he ain't going to say nothing, but he'll sign. Sorry, but I can't stop laughing. I can't see through the tears. He looked dead, Jesus. Yeah, he looked awful pale and stuff. I don't know. Every picture I've seen of him is really blurred out. And I feel guilty looking any further. It's sad, though. It's sad. You know, I joke about it, but it is sad to think about that man had people around him that would do that to him. You know, probably his niece or something. Is that what they said? Yeah, I guess it was his niece. They said, oh, uncle, yeah. Them niece do it to you. Tell you what. Keep your eye on your nieces, apparently. Come on, Unc, we going to the bank. Why you still breathing? Ah, damn it, Unc. Well, we still going to the bank. Just had to sit back this morning. I'm going to PMU. Okay, Brenda. I'd haunt her. Yeah, I would too. He's more animated and smarter than Joe Biden. Yeah. Hey, White House has been pulling this off for years. Right? They ain't getting in trouble for it. You can't tell me that dude can't speak just as good or better than Biden right now. I'm just playing. Just playing. I didn't mean to go there. Oh, shit. What'd you have to say about Mr. Button? Nothing. Great dude. Sharp as a tack. Let's move on. Y'all thought that was wild, right? Weird Wednesdays. You thought that was weird. You were like, wow. Could it get weirder? No, it can't get weirder than what I just told you. But absolutely. Let me get to it here. Let's go here. Y'all see that? See those guys? These guys right here, I know what you're thinking, adorable. Look at all them cute, adorable little chickens, right? Well, guess what? Missing. I was shocked too. Let's look into it. First batch of chicks were pilfered from the farm in South Huron near Exeter, Ontario, sometime between April 19th and April 20th. At the time of the first incident, police were still looking into how the culprits managed to flee with the flock. This dude, hold on, we're going to get into numbers, but this is amazing. How many chickens? In the second case, an ops spokesperson told Global News that farmers' chick count was off by 15,000 in mid-May, but it took a few days for the farmer to report it. We can't confirm or refute the report at this time. We have only taken the information as reported by the farmer, they told Global News. They were unable to provide any further details about the second incident. After the initial chicks went missing, OPP said the chicks were valued at around $1.42 a piece, which made the missing birds worth around $21,000. This would mean the second batch of hatchlings in total would be worth around half that. So that's a $30,000 loss. Just disappeared. Baby chicks. How in the hell does that happen? How does that happen? And how do you reconcile not reporting it immediately, but then later you're like, oh, I forgot to tell y'all the other day I was counting my chickens. 15,000 of them were missing. I ain't sure what happened to them. I did see something interesting though, because I was Googling shit to see if there was any follow-ups on this stuff, right? I was like, I'll get to the bottom of this. Let's see what happened to all these chickens. There happened to have been a recall on chicken nuggets at the time. I don't know if it's connected, but it happened. 30,000, man. Is that amazing, or is that just me? I mean, hold on. First batch. Oh, shit. I think I missed a clip somewhere. I know I have the there. Hold on. The farmer's chick count was off by 15,000 mid-May. So that's 15,000, right? And it happened again, but still 15. Okay, so say the minimum he's saying is 15,000 of them, right? How is that possible? But, you know, as little as them things are, don't count your chickens before they hatch. LOL. I don't see how 15,000 chickens could come up missing. See, that's one of them things that makes me mad when you see something like that. If law enforcement has to look into that, then I want to see either the people that would steal all them chickens arrested, or I want to see the scheming ass dude who lied about all his chickens being stolen. I want to see him charged. I'm a big believer in accountability. It makes me mad. I don't know how in the hell would you pull that off? How would you steal 15,000 of them little fuckers at one time? Coming there with just buckets and shovels and haul ass. 15,000. How does it? How explain that? I'd love to hear how you explain that. You know, you're not just gonna sit there and stand still. How long would it take you to gather 15,000 of them? Oh man, I ran into something. I ain't gonna show it to y'all. But when I was Googling this, right, something else popped up and I popped on it. And what was it? I want to say it was an eagle, some big ass bird. It might not have been an eagle, but it was a huge bird. And it was eating little chickens that size, one at a time, like it wasn't nothing. And somebody was filming that. I was like, this must be that dark web I'm hearing about. Horrible. There was like two of whatever they were. I'm gonna say it was maybe what's not an eagle, but a falcon. Maybe they were falcons. It was two falcons, and there was like 6 of them little chickens on the ground, and they was just popping them up like they were hitting seed, man. And I was like, oh my God. And there it was, sure enough, one after another. There was probably 6 of them to begin with, and the time 4 of them was gone, I had to change it. It was too much. Unless it was a giant producer, they would instantly notice 15,000 missing. That's what I'm saying, man. 15,000. Think about how many that is. That is a lot. That would have to be like a whole building of them was missing. You know, and the not reporting it. How many chickens do you got where 15,000 of them are gone, and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, well, this could be a miscount, possibly I'm miscounting. I want to know how many chickens this dude has. We're going to have to further investigate this. Cause, yeah, the math ain't mathing like somebody said earlier. I don't know though. I don't know. I wonder how many baby chicks would like a huge farm have at the most. I don't like he didn't report it on time. That to me is like, oh, and yeah, I forgot to report it, and I forgot to mention the security camera DVRs. Yeah, they erase every 24 hours. Crap. I guess we're not going to have the security footage to show the moment they were stolen. Crap. I like enough you got to pay out. This was up in Canada, our neighbors to the north. Most of you probably know that. Some of you might not, though. Who was it? Seems like sometime a while back. I want to say it was a D-Dub or somebody that acted like Canada and the UK were one and the same. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was right. Between 20,000 to 50,000 chicks may be confined in one building. So then, yeah. So how would you count them? That would be so hard, wouldn't it? Well, you just get you like get you one of them big wide janitor brooms, I guess, and just plop it right in a big spot of them and like wiggle it down and just pull them back. But then they're going to immediately run into the other ones. I don't see how you can get a super accurate count. I really don't. I guess you just pick one of them up, right? Weigh him. then put them all in buckets and weigh them, and then just do the math. That's how we used to inventory stuff. I used to work at this warehouse, and we do inventory once every year. That was like this super inventory. Like these people come in and counted everything, and if you were off, it was like the end for the company. And we had washers, and we told the new guy, was like, all right, count the washers, the bolts, the nuts, all that. And we assumed he knew, you have to weigh one, then, weigh them all, and then do the math and take out for the box and all that. We assumed he knew that. We got back. He was about 3 boxes of 5,000 count in that he had been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was actually counting every one. And like, we had these boxes of washers. There'd be 10,000 in a box. I guess he was going to count. And we had about 20 boxes of them. If we wouldn't have, clued him in on how that had to be done, I'm assuming he would have counted for days. And the bad thing is, when we realized that, we didn't immediately stop it. Let it go on for another hour. Then we told him, because we were just so amazed, because he had already been doing this. I can't remember. My memory's not great. I was younger, but he had already been doing this for hours. I do remember that, and we were so amazed that he had only got through like 5 boxes, and he didn't realize the gargantuan task that was in front of him, because we had shelves of these things. I'm talking, I couldn't even give you a number, but apparently he planned on counting into the trillions that day. Is the only thing I can think. When I was a kid, I do inventory for Ace Hardware. I hated it. All those tiny things to count. Oh, poor Jesse. And I bet your sweet, dear self sit there and counted every one of them too, didn't you, Jess? Poor thing. My husband inventories little parts by weight, not by volume. LOL. My husband inventories little parts by weight, not by volume. LOL. Lip Lock, are you being dirty? I can't tell if that's dirty or not. Let's keep it clean, Lip Lock. It's NC-17 up in here, but I don't know what you mean. I feel like that's perverted. You can't tell with Lip Lock. I know. And she never answers you when you ask her a question. It's like, I don't get it. She's so one-sided. What's today? Wednesday? Friday, I guess we'll get a call from her. Let's see. We talked about the chicks. That's wild, though, man. I don't get that. Oh, somebody sent me a new poster. Oh, no. Let's go here first. Guess who has to be in sentencing? Guess who has to show up for court? Who has to be present for statements? I don't know. I don't really get. I'm guessing Crystal Sorey is gonna. Do you think she'll be there? I'm just wondering who's gonna be the act. I'm assuming it's gonna be Crystal Sorey, right? Or will what's her? because they're talking about, you know, they want to do this because it's important that they're the people who get to read their impact statements, that he has to be there. I'm just wondering who we're going to hear from on Harmony's behalf. I'm assuming it's going to be Crystal Sorey. Today's Social Security check day, so there's that to think about. Is it the 24th? As he should, the POS. Amen. Suzette, you see your 24 months? 2 years Suzette's been with the channel. Hello, JDTC, Lip Lock, Knowledge, Messy Jesse, and everybody here coming in. Good to see y'all. Hi, Selena. I thought that was great news. I thought everybody'd be tickled, especially, you know, people that know the Harmony Montgomery story, tickled to see his ass have to be in court. It tickled me. I'll tell you that. Ugh, this dude here. And that right there, the sticking the tongue out. Oh, so I'm sorry. I was so happy about that, because I'll tell you what, I've been at this for 3 years. Out of all the stories, I feel like Harmony's is the one that to me is just so evil and sad, and it's awful, horrible. Listening to that, what's her name? I can't remember now. Kayla, his wife, just talk about the stuff he did to Harmony in the last days, and all of that is, I can't see anything as vicious and as violent and in any of the other crimes that I've talked about. And the real thing about that was the time it took her to be reported missing. That was the most heartbreaking thing out of the whole story, that nobody, including Crystal Sorey, got her reported missing, got them looking for her. Horrible. Who do y'all think is going to read victim impact statements? Anybody got a clue? Anybody heard? And I tell you, I don't wish nothing bad on anybody, and I don't recommend anybody come to harm. None of that. But I think to me, the worst thing about Kayla Montgomery is her lack of guts to do something when that was happening to a child. I could say a lot about what I think about her, but just the lack of, I don't know. It so bothered me how she described all that stuff, and you know, they're like, well, what did you do to stop it? So I put my hand up to stop it, and then he looked at me and he scared me. Could you imagine? And I think she's probably telling the truth. She probably was scared of me, right? She probably was. Well, she's a grown-ass woman. Imagine being a little kid, how scared the little kid was. I have no use for people that hurt kids. None at all. None whatsoever. And how you could watch that. And the stuff she described, how you could be there and witness that and not do anything. And I know you'll hear, well, she was on drugs, blah, 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 blah. I don't care, man. how she could even testify to it's beyond me. I'm interested. I agree. How could you sit there and watch this take place? I can't wrap my head around that. Just wow. And it shows that she's not super intelligent either. Because if you think somebody's going to sit there and do that to a child and they won't do it to you, you're kidding yourself. You're kidding yourself. If he will do that to his daughter, his little 5-year-old daughter, he will damn sure do it to you. So she wasn't even smart enough to save herself. I'm shocked he didn't beat her constantly. I'm shocked she could be seen anywhere without black eyes and stuff. I can't believe he would do that to his daughter and not to her. It seems, I don't know. It seems like, and it bothers me what he was doing it for also. He was mad because I think, from what I hear, a lot of the beatings, what she testified to, seems like a lot of the beatings was about her using the bathroom in the car and wetting herself. And how much would you guarantee? Now they're living in a car, mind you. How much would you guarantee that if she did say, "Hey, will somebody take me to the bathroom?" They were both probably too trash to do it and would give her probably as much shit for asking as they did for what she did. I would guarantee it. I could guarantee that if she did ask, it was probably worthless an attempt anyway. Because if they're living in a car and they're doing drugs, they're sitting around in that car just probably splashed constantly. You'd have to be cool with living in a car with kids. That whole story just pisses me off. And then when you think about after he had even after he had killed Harmony, she had another kid with this dude. And guess what? No charges for her. She's free now, right? Yeah. Has she been paroled yet? I think so, right? I know she made it, but I don't know if the times came yet. If not, she will be. She'll be free. And she'll have another kid, probably. Get her kids back. Think about that. Somebody that watched that happen to a child and didn't stop it. She died. Harmony died because of her lack of response to seeing a child get beat to death. Will have a child again. I would guarantee it. Guarantee it. Even if it ain't one of the ones she already has, I guarantee it. Hell, you wouldn't shock me if you told me if we come to find out she got her own kids back. My opinion, she told because she didn't want to go to prison, first welfare fraud. Yep. Yes. Yes. And it wouldn't shock me. And it can come out now in the I don't know if a deal would cover it. I don't know. But it wouldn't shock me if it come out one day, or if Adam started saying that Kayla was doing it too. That Kayla was part of abusing Harmony too. It wouldn't shock me in the least. Because to me, the only way you could sit by and that going on all the time is if you were participating. It makes more sense to me that she'd be participating and she's sitting there and that's just going on around her 24/7. But we don't know because Adam's a little biatch who won't even show himself in public. I don't think not a one of you give me your thoughts on who was going to give the victim impact. She laid in the bed with Adam while Harmony's body fluids dripping on him. I tell you, he's like some kind of demon, man. There was no reason to do the stuff with Harmony's body he was doing. I just think that is so, and you know, I don't think he's doing that just for trying not to get caught. Because to me, you would get rid of it. There's no way you would keep it with you 24/7, moving it from place to place. I think there's some sick reason he kept moving it and kept it with him as long as he did. Judge ordered him to appear at sentencing. Yeah, Tina, that's what I was talking about. Who do you think's going to read impact statements? You think anybody will, Tina? I'm thinking maybe we'll hear from Crystal Sorry, if anybody. You know, I heard her tell the story a long time ago that the reason Adam got custody was because she wasn't at court, right? That she had 2 court dates on the same day. One of them was the custody thing with Harmony, and one of them was something that she could go to jail for. So she picked the one that would keep her ass out of jail instead of the one that would have kept her daughter away from a monster. And you know, you can't tell me you couldn't have worked that out. Regardless, she acted like, you know, hey, they scheduled these 2 court dates, 2 different, you know, locations on the same day. You can't tell me you couldn't have got some help getting one of those rescheduled or switched. I don't believe that. I don't believe that nobody would have been willing to fix that. So in the end, you know, she and her not being at the custody hearing is another big reason why Adam got custody. There wasn't nobody there to tell him what a POS he was. You know, I've learned since Harmony's case, the judge doesn't necessarily see a criminal background of a person he's given custody of a child to. It's not required that he even have their background check, their police record, anything. And of course, since she decided she was going to go cover her ass and keep her ass out of jail and didn't show up, that's what happened. If she'd have went to jail, I'm sure she could have got custody. She says, though, you know, hey, in my defense, I had to take some time off for me. I had to take care of me before I could take care of somebody else. Well, as parents, you really don't get that option to just, you know, decide you're going to take a few years off. So, you know, the only victim in the case is Harmony, in my opinion. I don't feel sorry for her. I really don't. Not when she knew what Adam was and let it happen. And I think she had to be at the other court date to give up rights for the little brother to get adopted. That's not what she said. Regardless, it's all bullshit anyway. She could have got it rescheduled. You can't tell me they wouldn't have rescheduled one case or the other. I don't believe that. You'll never convince me of that. You'll never convince me that somebody that wanted it to happen couldn't get that straightened out. You won't. And I would have went to the one where my daughter was going to be put with a man that I claim beat me, and I know he's a drug head and violent and all this. That would have been the hearing I would have chose. And her poor decision making cost Harmony and cost her child. I just don't have no love for that shit. I'm sorry. Not at all. And I know the story I heard was the story I told, and I heard her say that. It's depressing as hell. People to let some of this shit happen. I'm still wondering. People, nobody wants to be accountable. You know? Got to take care of your kids, man. You got to. You want your kids to be normal, have good, productive lives? Don't have kids with just anybody. Stay with the person you're having the kid with. Raise the child. You know? I have heard nothing lately on the Sebastian Rogers case. I'm starting to become concerned at that, because that really feels like, if we go with what law enforcement's saying, this could drag on forever. You know? Forever. I seen the advertisement for a video where somebody was making, I think it was True Crime Rocket Science was saying there's like 6 things about this that's similar to Summer's case. I tell you, the one similarity is TBI seems to not have shit in 2 cases. That's the similarity I'm saying, the biggest one. The most glaring similarity is, in both cases, we're being told that somebody just, no sign of anything happening to them, no sign of somebody coming to get them, no sign of leaving, no sign of any foul play, no sign of foul play. People are just, the camera is blurry as hell, man. I don't get that. Goes in and out. All we can do is, I've been trying to pray again. I think it's good for karma, if nothing else. It's just getting ridiculous. Both men who weren't there are the spokespersons. Both at work. Both's alibi was at work. Chris is further away than Dawn was, right? There is a lot of similarities, but you know, there's a lot of differences too. Look at your victim: a 5-year-old girl, a 15-year-old boy. You know, so the victim really isn't the same, unless you might say where Sebastian had challenges. Maybe it was more like, attacking a younger child. You could say that, I'm assuming, but he disappeared overnight, just poof, missing. Summer was early evening, out in the country, in town. There's I think it's like they say about people see faces in clouds and stuff. I think you can see stuff that's not really there either too, because I guarantee I can find as many differences probably as you can similarities if you look into it. The shitty job, I tell you what is the same though, no doubt about it, is the opinion of law enforcement 2 months into the case, because I'm pretty confident it was about the same thing in Summer's case at 2 months. I can't remember for sure, but considering law enforcement's never been like, I think we're on to something. They've never give us that vibe. It's a lot like, especially if you heard that last press conference where there's like, we're not investigating, or we have no evidence. They say we haven't cleared nobody, but I'm still interested to see, and I still think there's a chance that the surveillance video could be more than they're letting on. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Liplock was saying she thinks it was kind of a redirect by the news, but I'm thinking it could have been a lot of different things, Could have been the news redirecting it. Because cops were like, oh, shit, that wasn't supposed to get out. And they'll be like, all right, here, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll blow it up as it was the trash truck. Okay, let's all work together. Break. Right? Oh. What else? We got anything else on tap? On tap this morning? I don't know nothing about this case, but I'll show it just to get it out there one more time. This just came up. Somebody, I think, just sent me this. This is Jada Hammonds. She's missing from Burnt Corn, Alabama. 17 years old, 180 pounds, 5'3", brown hair, brown eyes, white female. Wow, it almost looks like two different people. But that's 17-year-old Jada Hammonds. I don't have any details. If anybody in the chat's heard of her and wants to give us a quick update on or a quick lowdown, I'm more than happy to listen, but that's her. I haven't heard anything about her disappearance. I just got sent that. I hope it's active. I could be lip locking y'all. She could have possibly been found. I think it was you, Suzette, wasn't it, that sent me that? When was that? Let me pull it back up. When was the missing time on her? Shit. Hold on. What ain't on there, is it? Don't say there's no date. Hold on. Which one is this one? I had another. Okay, here we go. This is the full post. On April 23rd, 2024, Jaden was last seen in the Burnt Corn, Alabama area. She may be traveling to an unknown location in Texas. She was last seen wearing a blue shirt and red sweatpants. If anyone has information regarding the whereabouts of Jada Hammonds, please contact the Monroe County Sheriff's Office at 251-575-2961. So that's... She was last seen. She may be traveling to an unknown location in Texas. I tell you what. Now, what I'm telling y'all right now is basically all I've been told or know about this. To me, I would almost guarantee you that's being treated as a runaway and nobody's looking for her. Because if they're saying she may be on her way to Texas, I would about guarantee you that that's the case. Somebody thinks she ran away to Texas and nobody's talking about her. Because that's been a minute. I'd like to find the runaways, man, because I'm telling you, anybody that's going to be aiding in a kid's running away or don't have good intentions for the kids. I think all these kids that are labeled as runaways should be found as fast as possible. Because you know that the odds of something bad happening to them as a runaway and people who are willing to help them run away are horrible. I guarantee you not many runaways are successful. But that's basically all I got on her. I'm thinking the reason we haven't heard about it is because they're treating it like that she's ran away and they're not going to look. Seeing that, I think that's what hurts Whitney's case too, is the runaway title. But we'll see how it goes. That was Weird Wednesday. I hope everybody had a good time. Weird Wednesday, loosened it up a little bit. Shit, I had something for Thursday, a quirky title. I don't know. I'm going to leave it wide open in case something good comes up between now and the morning on what we talk about tomorrow. Might do some updates because I'm sure there's something happened on some of the mini cases we've been covering. Do some updates and do something. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks everybody for coming. Everybody hit the thumbs up, man. Our numbers haven't been horrible. There wasn't a ton of people here today, but they had been, quite a few, and nobody hitting their thumbs up apparently. You know, that helps me with the algorithm. Help a brother out. Okay. Hit the thumbs up. All the Rewatch gang, thank you. All the mods, thank you. Burnt Dirt, Messy Jesse, thank you. Tina, not a drama nana. But maybe I'll get some more information about that one girl, see what the story is that nobody's heard of her. And hopefully we'll have an update on Whitney's situation. But everybody have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. sharp.